San Angelo law enforcement and the local criminal justice system are mourning the loss of a district attorney investigator today. We'll have details. And a group of San Angeloans is urging the San Angelo City Council to build a homeless shelter. Also, Donald Trump is running for president again. Plus, Michele Babiash with Froyo and Sweets downtown, and the Central Firehouse Pizza Shop joins the show. All this plus more. I'm Yantis Green, and this is Live. Next week at Myers Drug and Boutique is the annual Christmas sale. The sale kicks off on Monday with 30% off of all mud pies. Plus, if you spend $75 or more, you'll get a free mud pie gift. On Tuesday, 30% off all bags, including Katie Loxton. Then on Wednesday, buy one, get one on toys and leggings. And then Black Friday, they will have a tote sale. Anything you can fit in a tote will be 30% off. Plus, you'll get a free Christmas shirt with a $75 purchase. Myers Drug and Boutique, located in the heart of downtown San Angelo. Go by and see them today. Also be on the lookout this Thursday as San Angelo Live and Myers Drug host the Myers Minute. This holiday special will show you all the great deals, so tune in. That's at 10 a.m. On Sunday this week, a criminal investigator with the DA's office passed away while making an arrest here in town. More information was released by the San Angelo Police Department this morning. According to that information from the SAPD, Steve Carnes was working at Coronas as private security. While on the clock, Carnes was making an arrest with other officers, and they noticed that he was having a medical emergency. An ambulance was called to the scene, and Carnes was rushed to the hospital, where he was later pronounced deceased. The Criminal Investigation Division did look into Carnes' death and said his death was not criminal in nature. Carnes served with law enforcement for more than 30 years. For more on this story, go to sanangelolive.com. And during Tuesday's City Council meeting, an issue was brought up to the council regarding the homeless shelter here in town. As many of you know, the Salvation Army shut its doors here in town after basically running out of money. With that, hundreds of homeless San Angeloans are left out in the cold. This has led the Concho Valley Community Action Agency Executive Director to ask the City Council to construct a task force, to form a task force to figure out a solution for the problem. Let's watch.
Good morning, I'm Mike Burnett, Executive Director of Concho Valley Community Action Agency, and I reside in single-member District 1. The homeless individuals and families are our relatives, our friends, and our neighbors. For you on City Council, they are your constituents. To help our homeless neighbors, it will take a community-wide effort. Several years ago, the only operating homeless shelter in our area was closed. Since its closing, our homeless neighbors have been without constant or reliable shelter. In the summer of 2021, the camping ban law was passed. This made it illegal for individuals to be homeless. The legislation comes after similar propositions passed in Texas, making it a misdemeanor to sit, lie down, or camp in public areas. The immediate need San Angelo must figure out is how to safely shelter these individuals, especially now that we are heading into the winter months. Programs like Out of the Cold and Into the Warm serve as Band-Aid at best. I'm asking that the City of San Angelo create a homeless shelter task force to grow community efforts in reestablishing a shelter. In addition to the traditional homeless shelter, one option would be to create a sanctioned campground for our homeless neighbors. The camping ban legislation has within it a way for local governments to submit requests to the state for designated campsites that meet certain criteria. A sanctioned campground would be the first of many steps towards adequate sheltering for our neighbors. I'm also asking that the city consider adopting a homeless bill of rights to further protect those at risk. This partnership of agencies plus the resources of local government will enable us to move quicker to providing shelter. I look forward to working with you, the city, and our other area agencies for the safety of our homeless neighbors.
Thank you, Michael.
And if you drive down by the loop downtown and take a look under one of those bridges, you will likely see some of our homeless neighbors. How can you help these people, especially during the cold winter months? Do you just give them $1 out the car window, pray, and hope they'll figure it out? Or should the city open a homeless shelter? Tune in next Wednesday as we will have the leader of the local homeless coalition live in studio. In national news, it is official. Former President of the United States, Donald Trump, announced on Tuesday night that he will be running for president in 2024. Let's watch.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
And the crowd went crazy, but what Trump did have to say after. That's right, Trump says,
so many incredible friends and family here tonight. It's such a beautiful thing. Some people say, how do you speak before so many people all the time? When there's love in the room, it's really easy, if you want to know the truth. It really is.
That's right. Trump says everything is easier with love. What do you think? Do you love or hate his decision? Comment below or tell us your opinion. And in weather over the next 7 days, it looks like this winter bout will stay with us. It'll continue with some of our northern counties possibly seeing a wintry mix early Saturday morning. As a matter of fact, TxDOT is already treating the roadways up there. On Friday night, there's 20% chance of rain. TxDOT has begun preparing those highways, so heads up there. As for the rest of the week, don't expect temperatures to reach higher than 60 degrees, and lows will be generally close to freezing every morning. And now, here is James Bellini with sports.
Sonora Broncos beat the only Cubs last week, 28-27. I made the trip down to Sonora yesterday, and once I arrived, head coach Blake Weston came over. We spoke about their win a little bit. Only is very similar to the team Sonora has to play this week, the Farwell Steers. Both Olney and Farwell were pushed down the seeding in their district due to playing two of the tougher districts in 2A1 football. The Cubs have to play Hawley, Cisco, and Stanford. Hawley was at state last season, and if not for a touchdown-saving tackle, it could have been Cisco at Arlington. Farwell has to deal with Stratford and Panhandle. Stratford actually won state last season, and Panhandle lost to Cisco in the second round. And it might have looked like it was a close game, but two of Olney's touchdowns, one came off a fumble recovery, another was a long touchdown run. So if you secure the ball and you make a tackle, that's 14 points off the board potentially to a very good football team. So while the Big Country and Panhandle have all these great teams, the Concho Valley has a pretty damn good one down there in Sutton County. Like those situations like making a tackle or letting a team score to give yourself as much time as possible, those are what-if questions in hindsight's 2020. Those are fun things to talk about, and that's something we did discuss. We also talked about Farwell and a couple of Coach Weston's players, including his quarterback, Jaime Butron, and his leading tackler, Edgar DeLuna. Let's watch. Coach Blake Weston here in Sonora got a win last week against only a very good team.
Yes,
got Farwell this week. I mean, they're all good teams at this point.
Sure,
How's Farwell look?
Man, really good football team. We got to come out and play Bronco football, and everything will take care of itself. But they are a very good football team. But we're a pretty dang good football team as well.
When I called you earlier in the year, you said that Edgar DeLuna doesn't get a whole lot of love,
right.
And I can certainly tell he had 2 touchdowns, 2 big time scores. Got
right.
behind the defense on the
sir.
first one and got through the defense and broke away for a big long run. What's he mean to just your team and
he's huge,
you in general?
And when you talk the defensive side, last year he had 190 tackles. I think this year he's around 160, 170. He's a great receiver. He's a great running back. We move him everywhere. He's just a really special talent on the football field. And we didn't use him early in the offensive side, but right now we've used him quite a bit. And it's showing. People are having to prep for him because he's a really special football player.
Now let's talk about your quarterback, Jaime Butron.
Sure.
Jaime Butron.
Yes,
after Yellowstone, no one wants to be known as Jamie.
Right. No.
So,
right. Yeah. Correct.
So Jaime Butron, he won the
Jimbo. We call him everything.
He won the Built Ford Tough player
sir.
In Forsan. What does he mean to your team in general,
man?
man?
A leader. The kid's tough as nails. Every week people prep to stop him. He's just a special talent. Not only, we talk about these kids on the football field, but man, they're even better kids outside of the school. They're leaders of Sonora. Being a small town, small community, football kind of runs it, and those kids are special leaders. Excuse me, on and off the field. Just really good kid, really good talent on the football field.
He's right about Farwell. They've put up over 400 points this season and only given up about 158. The only 2 teams they lost to are Stratford and Panhandle, so essentially they're just like Olney. The Cover 1 crew will be there in Big Spring this week when the Broncos take on the Steers, so you'll need to tune in Cover 1 this Friday for your Broncos updates, plus exclusive coach interviews, scores, highlights, and more at around 4, 8, and 10 o'clock, only on SanJoLive.com.
When it comes to unique pieces you can't find anywhere else, Kano's Diamonds and Coins is your one-stop shop. With over 24 years in the diamond and coin industry, Kano's Diamonds and Coins is West Texas's choice for diamonds, jewelry, coins, silver, and gold. Owner Bill Kano stands by his work and offers free consultations, including estate jewelry. Don't just trust anyone with your valuables. Come see the staff at Kano's at 1016 West Beauregard in San Angelo.
And we're back. I'm Joe Hyde. I'm joined with Michele Babiash, and she is the co-owner and brains behind the old Central Firehouse and Brew Pub and Airbnb and all that other stuff you have there. I guess it's not really an Airbnb, it's a bed and breakfast.
It's a bed and breakfast, yes.
And then the other thing that you have done is, you know, as we watched you grow your businesses, you've opened up a frozen yogurt shop downtown.
Yes.
So anyway, I just wanted to get you on the show and talk to you about, I mean, a lot of people have dreams. And I know from the very beginning of your dream, you know, I kind of followed you along ever since y'all had a house down on the lake and y'all had to convert it into an Airbnb to be able to convert it to generate revenue in order to buy that old Firehouse. And the Firehouse, I'm giving you a little history on this, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but the Firehouse hadn't been occupied really, except for a nonprofit, you know, since it had never been on the tax rolls since 1929. That's when it was built. And it was kind of off the beaten path, but everyone kind of knew where it was. So it was a little bit of a risk because you didn't know what you were going to get into. So you convinced a bank to loan you a bunch of money to go fix that whole Firehouse up. And the biggest success, because I think people talk most about the pizza. The pizza's very good. I'm just speaking from personal experience, very good. But the thing that's really cool about the pizza joint in there, it has a wall of beer. And it's got this automated beer dispensing system that probably costs millions of dollars. But anyway, I just want to talk about it. What was it like at the very beginning when you and your husband didn't have any idea if you were going to be able to make it or not? You're basically, I mean, you're my age. You're throwing everything you had into this thing that could fail.
I think it's scary. I think that it's scary in the beginning, but you talk about it enough to enough people and who support you and tell. I mean, I think one thing that's made us successful is really talking to people. You know, we met with the downtown and we met with the city and we met with people to say, what do you think about this idea? Because you do get a crazy idea one day and you hope that it works. And so,
so were most people you talked to before they're saying, yeah, that might work? Or were they kind of, well, you know?
So, well, the funny thing is, people that we talked to, like the city and people like that, and I think they saw this building that was being underutilized that could actually be something. And here, you know, two crazy people come along with this idea. I think they were like, yes, let's see if this works, because right now it's not really doing much. Our friends and family thought we were a little crazy because here's this huge building that it needs a lot of work, you know, and it needs a lot of love. And so just project-wise, it was a little crazy. But.
All right, so you pulled the trigger on it, and you had to battle a whole lot of wars because you're building something in this city. So you have the permitting problems. You had to battle with contractors, I guess, or did y'all do it yourself?
We did the majority of it ourselves. You know,
Really?
We hired out what we had to and did the rest ourselves. So yes, my husband will tell you we carried hundreds of sheets of sheetrock up the stairs.
Well, did you demo it first? You took everything out?
We did.
Everything was, so basically, other than load-bearing columns or whatever, you just took everything out?
Yes, we pretty much gutted it and kind of started fresh.
Wow. So did you put the wall of beer in? Or was that a contractor?
The contractor because it's a lot of mechanics, it's a lot of technology and all of that good stuff. So we did not do that.
Just to explain to people who've never been to the Central Firehouse, the wall of beer I'm talking about is they have, I don't know, what is it, 36 spigots?
24.
24 spigots on the wall, and it's automated. So you go up to the bar or you go up to the cash register and you buy a card, and you just stick the card whenever you can shop the beer you want to have. You have a glass and you have a card. You put the card in the thing, and then it automatically dispenses exactly 12 ounces or whatever the beer size is, I guess.
Yeah, the great thing about it is you can pour a little bit and taste it before you pour an entire glass. So if you like to try craft beer, which I do,
Does that count against your ounce?
Yes, at the
thing?
end, it's actually going to charge you for exactly what you poured per ounce. So if
Gotcha.
you do pour a taste, it will charge you.
So for you, the bartenders that you hire don't steal the beer and give it to their girlfriends. It's 100. You're almost getting 0% waste on keg beer.
It's very little waste, and it's so great. Yes, it's you're paying for what you pour. And we've been to places. This is why we love the wall so much. We've been to places, and your bartender pours a beer,
Right.
pours some out, pours some more, and it's like, oh my goodness, that's just money you're literally pouring down the drain. And so, yes, the beer wall, it's amazing.
So when you were in the middle of this thing, or when you opened up, did you kind of know at that point that this was going to be a success?
No. I think the B&B was it started out great, and it's been great. But the pizzeria we opened literally when COVID hit.
Really?
And we had put in this expensive beer wall and pizza oven, and we were at a point where we have to pay for all of this. So we have to open. And so when we opened, it was so scary. It was really scary. Now looking back, it was a huge blessing that we got to open, and we kind of got to learn without a live audience. We did carry out for a while, and then we opened up a portion of the inside. And so,
So when you opened up, they closed all the restaurants and bars. I mean, isn't that what happened? Everything got closed down completely?
yes.
And so no one could come in there and experience the beer wall.
Right. We opened up doing carry out only.
So carry out only, and your pizzas are kind of like personal or two-person size pizzas, right?
Yes,
You don't
they're
have the
10-inch pizzas.
10-inch pizzas.
Yes.
So that made a lot of sense, especially for, I guess no one was working downtown then. My goodness.
No, it was a challenge. I think we got a lot of people. I think locals were supporting smaller moms and pop shops, so they were eating out on purpose to support those places. And it was new, so everyone likes to try something new.
Did you have any employees, or is this you and your husband?
We started out us and our 2 girls, so there was 4 of us, and then
Family.
It was family. My brother works there, my sister worked there part time, and so it was a lot of family in the beginning.
And so you're cruising along, and this COVID thing, they released the restrictions. When you start finally allowing people to come in and dine, how was the reception initially?
Oh, it was great. I mean, we had a line to the door every single night, so it was fantastic. And at the time we opened, we didn't really have a true pizzeria here in San Angelo, so I think it was something that was needed as well. You're not going to go get the same thing that you can get from 10 other places. It was, do we have pizza places? Yes. Do we have, true pizzerias? No.
Right.
So I think it was just offering something that you can't get elsewhere in San Angelo.
All right, fast forward to today. What's your busiest day?
Definitely, I would say Saturday. Friday is pretty busy too, but Saturday.
Why do you think it is? People are out in downtown on Saturday afternoon. Is that kind of when it is?
I think so. And I think during the week, of course, you're working those hours. So there's a short little lunch rush, and then there's after work rush. So on Saturdays, we get a lot of families, and a lot of times they're all uniformed up. They're coming from a soccer game or a baseball game or whatever it happens to be. And they're bringing in a lot of friends with them. So sometimes you'll get the whole team.
So that's kind of like being that probably helps. If I always tell my people it's a glass, they either have a glass half full or half empty. So it's your job to make sure that most of them come out with a glass full.
Yes.
That way they'll tell their friends. I went there, had a good time, right? And so that's that word of mouth kind of thing, especially when they're bringing an entire soccer team in.
Yeah, it's
Helps
great.
out a lot.
It's fabulous.
Right. All right. So you're cruising along. You're doing really well with the bed and breakfast and the pizza shop at the old Central Firehouse, and then something. I guess the frozen yogurt place here on Knickerbocker decided they were going to retire.
Yes.
And so you're the first one through the door, and you bought all their machines.
I know, it's crazy. I was on the phone. I think they called, and I just looked at Jody and the girls and I said, "Do you guys want to buy some frozen yogurt machines?" And they were just kind of like, "Sure." So it was on a whim. And then we got all of the stuff and we're like, okay, what do we do now? You know, what do we do?
So you had all these frozen yogurt machines at some storage unit somewhere.
Yes.
And of course, those things have been around. I mean, they had 2 shops, right? They had one on North Bryant, and then they had one down in Knickerbocker. So they had a lot of machines.
Yeah, I think they did. We have 5 machines, and so that there's 10 different yogurts, and of course you can do a swirl or whatever. So yeah.
So you decided you're going to not do this at the Firehouse, but you're going to open up another shop.
Well, again, we have these machines, and we're like, all right, what do we do with them? They're sitting in storage, and my girls decided that they would love to be business owners. I think one great thing about San Angelo is that we support small local businesses, and so because they'd worked at the Firehouse.
So this is your daughters. Your daughters are the brains behind the frozen yogurt place.
Yes.
So what kind of fun stuff do your daughters do that you would never do at the frozen yogurt place?
Oh my gosh, they're super creative. So they're always like, you know what sounds fun? Let's do, and it's at the Froyo shop as well, but it's at the Firehouse. One of my daughters markets for us. Sierra does all of our marketing. And for instance, we had a trunk or treat for Halloween, and she decided to do a hero's trunk or treat. So she thought, and her husband's law enforcement, and so she thought, I'm going to call all these people that I know, and I'm going to see if I can get them down here. And this was the week before she decides to do this.
Right.
We have this huge, great turnout, and everybody showed up. The game warden was there, AirMed was there. We had the sheriff's department, the police department. It was so great. And that's her. She will come up with an idea. She'll see something online. My other daughter's super creative, and she'll think of a pizza. So she thought of the pickle pizza, which we were going to put on for a limited time and take off the menu. We've had it on ever since, for a couple years now.
It's not like a McRib where they keep taking it off the menu and bringing it back.
Well, sometimes we took our street taco off and people did not like that.
Oh, really?
So our street taco is back on.
Street taco pizza?
Street taco pizza.
All right.
And it's delicious.
The jalapeno popper.
A jalapeno popper, fantastic.
Trammell's over here.
Yeah.
He's over here calling out his favorite pizzas. Now, my favorite pizza. And all the people here hate it because we have to get pizza sometimes from another vendor.
I'm going to guess. Is it the Hawaiian?
Yes. Well, it has to have, when I sat alert in B-52s, we always ordered the pizza like this. Ham or Canadian bacon, mushrooms, and what we called the D-Spin additive. Now, D-Spin was my bombardier. His name was Fred DeGasperin. His call sign was D-Spin. He loved pineapples. So we didn't call it pineapples because that wasn't manly. We had to call it the D-Spin additive. So anyway, Canadian bacon, mushrooms, and pineapple.
That's
I don't know if that's Hawaiian or not, but the mushrooms are a very important part of that. They give that extra hearty
a little
feel.
Something.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever ordered. I haven't taken somebody's order where they added mushroom, but that's okay. Some people do jalapeno, so they have that kind of sweet and
Right.
and
All right, so where is the frozen yogurt place?
So it is 17 West Beauregard. It is right across the street from 01, the old 01.
Okay, well, the original.
Yes.
Yeah, 17 West Beauregard. And it's open, starting at 8 in the morning? When is it open?
It's 11 to 8 most days, Saturday 12 to 4.
And how long have you been open there?
Oh my goodness.
It's been about a month
you're
and
quizzing
6
me.
weeks?
It's probably been 6 or 8 weeks.
And how has the reception been?
It's been great. Again, a town of our size, we did research, and there's towns our size that have 6 frozen yogurt stores and 4 candy stores. We are the only frozen yogurt store and true candy store in all of San Angelo. So it's great. So the reception's been great.
You said it's a candy store too?
Yes.
So you can go in there and get like homemade candy kind of stuff,
So
or
not homemade. Let's not get crazy.
fancy candy.
But we have bulk candy, so you can just fill up your bag and you pay by, per ounce.
Great for Christmas shopping.
Oh my gosh, so great. We have the best prepackaged candy as well, like stocking stuffers. They have a great selection of nostalgic candy, which is fun for you and I to go in and just see the candy cigarettes that we used to have when we were young and things like that.
Right.
So fun things like
Why
that.
do you keep dating me like that?
Sorry. Us, dating us, yes.
Yeah. Oh no, back in the day when they had
Back in the
candy
day.
cigarettes. They couldn't have candy cigarettes today. I mean, people's heads would explode. But that's really cool. And the thing about downtown is you can go to a lot of places. I mean, like you have the Cowboy Up chocolates around the corner.
So great. Yes.
And so you can get a variety of stuff. It's kind of like going to the mall, because we have all these little, unique shops downtown.
Yes.
Now, the big thing coming on downtown, I talked to Del Velasquez before we started this. He wanted to make sure that I mentioned that they have the big downtown Christmas lights parade on December 3rd.
Yes.
And then they also, I think on the same day, they're going to be doing the paintbrush alley, vendors of the paintbrush alley, and you ever heard of that Arts in Uncommon Places?
Yes.
So they have that area that's empty, that the landlord...
The Pop Art Museum.
The Pop Art Museum, yeah. And that's on Concho, right? I think it's Concho. Yes. Maybe it's on Concho?
Yes.
Okay.
It's one before Concho.
Oh, at Tuig. It's on Tuig.
It's on Tuig. Oh,
It's on
I should
Tuig.
know that.
Yeah. So those two, the paintbrush alley is kind of close to Tuig, and they're kind of next to each other. But the big thing is the Christmas lights. And this is going to be, what is Christmas lights, what is it like for a downtown merchant? Is it a plus, you think? Does it bring in more people?
I think it's great. I think anytime you can get people downtown, like you said, there's a ton of stuff to do downtown. And so, you can walk, you can drive. There's always stuff happening. So just to be able to go downtown, park, and there's so much that you can see and do.
And you can park one place. You don't have to keep moving from place to place. You can park one place and just walk.
Yes. Our downtown is just big enough, but just small enough that you can, park and see and do it all.
Right. Well, and the frozen yogurt place is going to eclipse the pizza, isn't it?
I don't know, but it's going to be a really good addition that you can go have pizza and then go have frozen yogurt and get you some candy to take home.
And what is it, about 3 or 4 blocks away from the...
Yes, it's probably just 3 or 4, something like that.
So
it's
you can burn
walking distance. If
you can burn some calories.
Yes, walk off your pizza, park at the pizzeria, walk to frozen yogurt, and then walk back. Yes, and we're excited because tomorrow we're doing our ribbon cutting with the chamber.
That's right.
So it'll be tomorrow
what time is it going to be?
At 2:00.
All right, so at 2:00 at 17 West Beauregard.
Yes.
It's going to be a big ribbon cutting. Free candy?
There'll be some free things. You have to
Okay.
show up to find out.
All right, so, and everyone's invited, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, Michele, thank you for coming on and talking about some things downtown. I really appreciate someone like you coming into town and taking those, you and your husband, Jody, taking those risks.
Thank you so much.
And it's good to be able to, fellow risk taker. I feel like, we're kind of part of the same club. And anyway, this has been San Angelo Live at 4:00 every day. We live stream this show. It's kind of extemporaneous sometimes. We always tell you about the news. We always have an interview segment. It's live streamed on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and San Angelo Live. Until tomorrow, I'm Joe Hyde. This is Michele Babiash, and Matt Tramble's behind the control room today. We'll see you tomorrow.
For more than 25 years, Carpetech has been serving our customers and communities with floor care and emergency restoration services. I'm Cade Simmons. Thank you for welcoming Carpetech and my family to the Concho Valley. We look forward to serving you.
And just one more reminder, I know you want me to leave, but tomorrow, the Myers Minute. Trammell, what time is it?
10 a.m.
10 a.m., the Myers Minute. They're going to have all the stuff that you can shop for Christmas downtown. They're at the corner of Beauregard and Chadbourne, right there in the middle of the historic downtown San Angelo. 10 o'clock on Thursday, tomorrow. We'll see you.